Hello, we're the PNC Newsgirls, Mia.
And Maya, reading the news 6 days a week because you're too lazy.
Tuesday, July 11th, 2023.
Okay. If there is sufficient living space for all on this earth, then we ought to be given our share of the soil which is absolutely necessary for our existence. But of course, nobody will be prepared to do so. At this point, the right of self-preservation comes into effect, and when attempts to sell the difficulty in an amicable way are rejected, the clenched fist must take by force which was refused to the open hand of friendship. Adolf Hitler.
Alright, quick go. Affirmative action, a thoroughly useless idea. If you are a qualified person of color, you don't need affirmative action. Only unqualified people need affirmative action. Affirmative action means lowering standards. The left would like to see our standards lowered across the board, which would level the playing field and reduce our competitiveness in the world. Should we seek social justice by lowering the standards to the lowest denominator via affirmative action, or should we require the lowest denominator, minority students for example, to meet the higher standard? Lowering standards has given us an educational system that is producing substandard results. Statistics show that the U.S. lagging behind in educational accomplishments are proof that the left is succeeding.
Okay. Missing Biden corruption witness Dr. Gal Luft hit with federal charges. Dr. Gal Luft, a key figure in the House Republicans' investigation of the Biden family's international influence peddling, faces federal charges of arms trafficking, operating as an unregistered lobbyist for China, and conspiring to flout U.S. sanctions on Iran, according to Manhattan indictment unsealed Monday.
Musk issues new challenge for Zuckerberg.
To
Zuckerberg. Twitter owner Elon Musk has escalated his feud with fellow technology billionaire Mark Zuckerberg by branding him a whatever, and suggesting that the two social media titans should compete by measuring their male really? Musk said on Sunday in a Twitter post, I can't. Yeah, nope. That's it. Yeah, okay, bye.
If you want to know so bad, you can read it yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Wealthy elites oversaw a massive bank collapse. Now they're suing to claw back billions. The wealthy board of directors who presided over the failure of California tech lender Silicon, however you want to say it, Valley Bank, SVB, is suing federal regulators seeking billions according to a bankruptcy court filing. That's too long.
Okay, onto the full column. You won't hear this on NPR or NYT. U.S. forest fire burn acreage at decade lows. While the New York Times told its readership, human-caused climate change is making high temperatures more common and intensifying the dryness that fuels catastrophic wildfires. We wonder how devastating those wildfires have been in the U.S. this season. If we listen to the doomsayers, it sounds like wildfires are uncontrollably spreading across the U.S. However, the climate change contrarian Tony Heller tweeted Sunday that new data from the National Interagency Fire Center that shows since January
25,163
wildfires have burned
702,000.
Why do you feel the need to do that?
What?
Read the numbers.
Because 702,608
acres across these numbers are below the 10-year average of 28,459 wildfires and 2,339 Oh, my bad. I missed another 3 digits.
Yeah.
Basically a lot. Acres burned before this time of year, ending on July 7th.
Oh my bad, a lot. Okay. Donald Trump demands court holds off scheduling his trial in classified docket cases. His presidential run could delay proceedings until after the 2024 election. The former president's lawyers asked the Florida judge late Monday night to give them more time before his trial on allegations of mishandling the documents, arguing the unprecedented case requires a measured, considerable and timeline. An initial trial date was set by Judge Eileen Cannon of August 14th. Prosecutors then asked that the date be pushed to December to give Trump's legal team the time needed to get the required security clearances.
Supreme Court justices and donors mingle at campus visits. These documents show the ethical dilemmas. The Associated Press obtained tens of thousands of pages of emails and other documents that reveal the extent to which public colleges and universities have seen visits by justices as opportunities to generate donations, regularly putting justices in the room, while influential donors, including some whose industries have had interests before that court.
Okay. Get the frick out of here. Angry Joe Biden screams at staffers, abuses his aides behind closed doors. Of course, it wasn't actually frick, but whatever. Joe Biden is a mean and nasty old man behind closed doors, according to a new media report. The mainstream media loves to portray Joe Biden as a loving and, I forgot how you pronounce it, benign?
Yep, benign.
Grandfather. Of course, this isn't true. Joe Biden fondles children, took inappropriate showers with his daughter Ashley, and refuses to acknowledge his beautiful granddaughter, Navy. Is that
Joanne?
Joanne, okay. Roberts.
I think Joanne, I don't know.
It probably is.
Okay. MSNBC op-ed is slammed online for claiming that working out is linked to far-right politics, and says that exercising at home is just the latest fascist trend that glamorizes hypermasculinity. You don't want to be fat? Well, you're an extreme far-right, hyper-masculine human being. Cynthia Miller-Idris, a researcher in extremism and a professor in the School of Public Affairs and in the School of Education at American University in Washington, D.C., wrote the article outlining her concerns. Entitled Pandemic Fitness Trends Have Gone Extreme. Literally, the article claimed that white supremacists' latest scheme to valorize violence and hypermasculinity has gone digital.
Okay. A father exposes what ordinary
Pediatricians
are doing to children. In every horror movie, there's
Consenso. I think it's Consenso, I'm not sure.
Of terrorists and monsters, zombies, giant spiders, birds, aliens, or anything else, are suddenly everywhere. No matter where you turn, they are coming for you. A father's rant about a
pediatrician
who thought to I don't know. His 9 and 7-year-old sons with gender madness has gone viral for that reason. It shows that the gender monsters are everywhere. However, in every horror movie, this crescendo is also the point at which the brave people are still standing, turn, and fight. And in a good movie, they win. Let's hope that, as parents start to realize that there's a war for their children, they fight and win.
Alright, on to the monkey column. What does Sudan's crisis mean for the gum Arabic industry? One of Sudan's leading agricultural exports, gum Arabic, a natural emulsifier tapped from
acacia
trees that has had countless uses throughout history, from ancient Egyptians depending on it for mummification to more recent uses in anything from shoe polish, sweets to medicines and cosmetics.
Okay. Religious parents joined together to oppose Maryland school satanic tranny agenda. Somehow, conservatives decided around 2017 that they should reach out to the gays to offer to protect them from how do you say that? What? How do you say that?
Muslims? Muslim? I don't know.
Now, conservatives need Muslims to protect them from the gays. if Muslims are a shield for Christians to feel comfortable protesting did they just pluralize?
Yes.
Faggotry?
Faggotry.
In the school, then I guess that is just what it is. Okay, but what are they?
I don't know.
What are they?
I thought it's Muslim.
What's it
That
mean?
would make too much. That would make no sense.
Google,
Oh
please
my
load.
gosh, internet bad.
Please, I beg of you. It's just going follower of religion. It's just going Muslim.
Is it literally just a plural?
Is it Muslim? Okay, I think it's just a plural of Muslims.
Okay.
Interesting.
Then wait. Alright, NGOs whine after Tunisians crack down on black invaders. Without these charges, Tunisia will not survive for tutors. Tunisia should halt collective explosions of sub-Saharan African migrants and urgently enable access to humanitarian services for those the government sent to a dangerous area of the Tunisia-Libya border. Human Rights Watch HRW said on Thursday.
Okay. Rev Al Sharpton's pastor brother is jailed for 30 months for drug trafficking, income tax evasion, and lying to obtain Social Security benefits. Pastor Kenneth Sharpton Glasgow, 58, the half-brother of the civil rights leader, was sentenced to more than 2 years behind bars on Thursday for his illegal acts. His prison stint begins on August 17th. Glasgow pleaded guilty to embezzling $407,000 from two non-profit organizations he found, including the Ordinary People Society (TOPS), located in Atlanta, Alabama. A felon voting rights advocate and dying organization, the Prodigal Child Project.
I can't. The war crime
I'm just
columns. Exclusive. Biden's DOJ eliminates language on child sex trafficking from government website and child victims of prostitution after losing track of 85,000 migrant children. How do you just lose track of that many children?
Where did they go?
Why did the DOJ remove international sex trafficking minors, domestic sex trafficking of minors, and child victims of prostitution from the Department of Justice website under child sex trafficking? The Biden administration removed these sections on May 12th, 2023. Why would they remove these important sections?
India's top court to hear plea against Modi government's historic Kashmir move. The Supreme Court of India has announced it will begin hearing petitions against changes to the constitution which ended special status for the northern state of Jammu and Kashmir for almost 4 years ago. The daily hearings will begin on August 2nd and will examine whether the changes were conducted without the consent of the population in the strife-torn state, which has been the epicenter of the sectionist movement for decades.
Alright. Historic day. Turkey's Erdogan agrees to back Sweden's NATO bid. After talks in Vilnius, Lithuania, with Erdogan and Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson, Stoltenberg, and Turkey had agreed to move forward. I'm glad to announce President Erdogan has agreed to forward the accession protocol for Sweden to Grand National Assembly as soon as possible and work closely with the Assembly to ensure ratification, Stoltenberg said at a news conference. This is a historic day.
I would just like to say, is this an Apu or a Pepe? I think it's an Apu.
Yeah.
With normal hands is completely cursed. Like, what is this? U.S. Navy aided fuel smugglers, Iran. An Iranian admiral said on Monday that multiple U.S. aircraft had attempted to prevent the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC) Navy from boarding an oil tanker suspect of smuggling. On July 6th, IRGC Navy personnel were inspecting a ship named NADA, or just NADA, II that was involved in smuggling Iranian oil and gas in the Persian Gulf, which the Americans sought to prevent through a series of risky and unprofessional actions. Rear Admiral Ramazan Ziyaria told the Tasnim news agency.
Alright, that is all. Thank you for listening to Mia.
And Maya, read the Polo Central homepage. Do all the good things.
Come back tomorrow for a segregated news.